My name is Mike Gorehouse. I'm the president and CEO here at the Community Foundation. And with me today is the chair of our Youth Advisory Council, Mason Wesolek. Mason, what school do you go to, and what year are you, and maybe what's next coming in for you in your lifetime?
So I'm a senior at Holland Christian. I'm looking to go to college next year. I want to major in computer science. So, I mean, I don't know where it's going to take me, but right now, I mean, I'm just looking forward to the future and really just waiting on these next couple months.
So computer science.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to do with a computer science degree?
I want to be like a software developer. So I want to develop software, and I want to get into that whole industry. And I mean, it's always really intrigued me ever since I was a little kid, and it's something that I've been really passionate about.
Do you do some software programming right now? Do you know certain languages or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm doing independent study at school. So I'm learning some Swift, some Java, I'm developing my own applications and stuff like that.
Jeez. Have you heard of Collective Idea? It's a company here in town.
Yes, I have actually.
Yeah, they do. Daniel Morrison's the guy who owns that company, and off the video, we'll connect about that. But there's some pretty cool things happening here in Holland, believe it or not. Software development. Crazy. So, Mason, how did you end up getting connected to the Community Foundation?
So my mom and my nana, they're both their careers had a little bit to do with philanthropy. So when I was a freshman, they told me about YAC and what the Community Foundation's about, and as a freshman, I really, frankly, didn't know what it was about, and I figured it might as well be something to get me started in extracurriculars and get me involved in the community. And I never knew how much it would really change me as much as it did now. And I mean, looking back on it, it really changed my whole high school career, and it got me involved in things that I never would have gotten involved in if it wasn't for YAC.
So you applied as a freshman and started as a sophomore here on the YAC. And what was your first impression when you joined the YAC?
First impression, I was kind of overwhelmed because we went to the luncheon, and I remember going to the meetup and everything, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of people here, and it's like crazy getting to know all these people, and everything that's going on seems so important. And I mean, I was excited, but I was nervous at the same time, but it all turned out to be awesome as soon as it started going.
So when you started getting more comfortable, what kinds of things did you learn from being on YAC that maybe you didn't even know you were going to learn when you signed up?
So I really learned like how to, in a group setting, how to get things done most efficiently, and really, I mean, I learned really what philanthropy is and what it means to be involved in philanthropy, which is something that I really don't think I would really know a whole lot about if it wasn't for YAC.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to know that, and I think it's really changed me as a person, and it's helped me go into things I never would have got into before. So,
what does philanthropy mean to you now that you've been through YAC? I mean, how would you describe that word to other people?
Really giving back to the community and being involved in the community that you're in. I mean, doing something for someone else that is really just out of the goodness of your heart.
What are some of the things? That's perfect. I mean, that's what we try to do here. What along the way? What were some of the challenges working with a group of high school students that you knew but didn't know that well? I mean, what were some of the challenges that you faced as you guys try to decide where to give your grants to?
I think everybody has different backgrounds that they're from and different opinions about different things. So, say if someone disagrees on one thing, and we have half and half split, so it's really hard to come to a conclusion. But I think it's important to know everybody's background and what they believe and why they believe in it. And it's really made me accept and get to know other people better that way, and really learn to take other people's perspectives into my account when deciding on something, because they have experiences that I never would have had before.
It's amazing to hear you talk about that, because I think there's a lot of adults that could learn that skill probably better. So maybe we should send some adults through our YAC program too. But it is true. I mean, the idea of listening to others and respecting the fact that you know a lot, but they know a lot, and it's okay that there may be some things different. Is there a particular grant that you remember that stands out for you? Maybe something that really surprised you, about a need that you didn't know about in the community, or a grant that you were really proud of making? I mean, is there one or two that stand out to you?
The biggest one for me would be Camp Sunshine, is because I actually got involved with Camp Sunshine after we made that grant, and I was so blown away about what they were doing. And I was in there the first year that they actually put in all the money to make this happen, and it was awesome to see everything that like our money actually going towards a cause that I could be involved in and really see it happen, and it was amazing.
Can describe what Camp Sunshine does, and then describe what the grant did, so we can.
So Camp Sunshine is a camp for special needs people, and they have nowhere else to go, and they've never had anything like this before. So what I did is I was a counselor, and then our grant made it possible for them to have a second session. So they used to have a waiting list forever, and people would sign up months or years in advance to try to get into this camp. And our grant made it possible for them to have a second location, double their amount of people that they could have, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And I was there the first year that they actually implemented that.
Okay.
So I was the first session of Camp Henry,
Yeah.
which was awesome because I could see I remember reading about the iPads that we had and all the different things about what Camp Henry had to offer, and when I was reading over the grant and actually seeing it put into effect and being a first-hand experience with my camper and going around and seeing that, it was just amazing what the money did for that organization.
Yeah.
And how they really appreciated it and how much good it really did.
Yeah. It's amazing to see it in action.
Yeah.
Were there other grants? Is there any other one that you remember, or one that you maybe had a close connection to, an organization that the foundation and the YAC supported?
I remember when we did Kids Food Basket, and we actually went to the visit, and we actually got to make the food and put it in the bags and everything, and it was really cool to be able to see that and like hear their presentation about it. I thought it was really awesome that we could, as a YAC group, we could make the sandwiches and do the different parts, like go into the basket or the lunch sack, and really like see that these are going to go out to kids in the next couple of days, and these are going to be meals for kids that in our own community, and it was really awesome just to see that.
Talk to me about your experience on the board. So the last 2 years you've been, last year you've been a voting member of the board, and then also the year before that you were a non-voting member of the board. So what does it feel like to be on a board like that? What have you learned? What's stuff that you think is just weird? Talk to me about that.
I mean, I think it's awesome that I'm able to do this as a high school student and be able to get this experience for going on in my life, and I think that's invaluable, how I'm going to be able to say that I've been on the board for 2 years, and it's like, I never would have expected to be able to do that until I was later in life, past college or something like that, and it's just been amazing to hear the conversation that goes on and how everybody gets stuff done and just what really goes on in a nonprofit organization. And it's just been really great experience to be able to sit there, and even having a vote this year is crazy to me because I'm a senior in high school and everybody else seems so important and everything.
Well, I will tell you that you are very, very important, just as important as all they are, and I'm grateful that we have young people like yourself that we can bring into that, because not every organization feels comfortable, including people from different ages, particularly people who are under 18 and still in high school, but certainly for us, our organization, we've been blessed by having young people on the YAC and on the board, on our distribution committee. You guys lend a lot of value to our organization. If you were to be talking to someone who was thinking about applying to join the YAC, but didn't really know, they're involved in a lot of other things and don't know if they have time or if they'd enjoy it, what would you tell them to encourage them to take that leap and sign up?
I would tell them how much good it really does in the community, and really tell them my experience that I've had and how I really didn't know what to expect going into it. I kind of just went into it knowing a little bit about philanthropy and what the organization's about, but after being on it for 3 years, it's crazy how much it's changed me and how much good that I've learned and how it's really just been such a positive impact in my life. And it's been a great experience, and these people and the memories that I have here I'll always remember and cherish.
That's great. You're involved in some other things in the community as well. So what other things are you involved in?
So I'm on the YAC for the city council. So I'm on the police community relations board for that, and I work a lot. So
Where do you work?
I work in Intel Arts. So I'm in the warehouse, and I work after school every day. And then I also work at the rink, and I scorekeep. And I used to play hockey the last 3 years, freshman through junior year. So it's been busy and everything, but I mean, it's awesome. I love being involved in this kind of stuff and just being an impact in my community.
Yeah. What do you think, if you think about kind of your life going forward, and then compare that to if you hadn't been involved in the YAC or the YAC or the Community Foundation, how do you think it would have been different? And maybe one way to think about that is, you have friends at school who aren't involved in some of these things. So maybe if you even watch them, how do you think your life's going to be different going forward because of these experiences?
Honestly, I think that if I wouldn't have been involved in YAC, I think my life going forward would have been a lot different. I mean, I don't know where I'd be right now. I don't know if I would have been in Camp Sunshine or even done YAC or anything like that. I mean, YAC really sparked my interest in being involved and really getting involved with the community and everything, and I believe that's going to carry with me for the rest of my life. I mean, I think about my major, and it's not even, I mean, I'm going into computers and I'm developing. It's not something that you really would associate with philanthropy or doing something like that, but I think that I can get involved outside of that and be involved at wherever I end up at, and I'm thinking even moving out of state to California or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, philanthropy is everywhere, and getting involved in your community I think is so important, and it's so great that I can do this at a young age and be able to learn the skills that I need to do this, and I think it's really important going forward. I mean, I'm going into computer science, and a lot of people don't think that that's going to be something that you can really carry philanthropy into. You have to go into like a nonprofit organization to be able to do philanthropy, but you can be involved anywhere that you're at, and I think that it's so important that I know that, and that going forward I can always be involved with this for the rest of my life, and I plan on doing that. And I think it's so great that I can have something that I'm really passionate about over on one side, and then still have something else that I'm really passionate about, and that's philanthropy. And I think it's awesome that I can carry this over into the rest of my life, and really wherever I'm at, there's always going to be an opportunity to do that. And people are going to want to give back to the community and want to make it better because that's the place that they live in. And I think that's been so important for me to be able to see growing up, and seeing how important it is that like what we do here really changes our community. And it really makes it the best that we can be, and we're trying to do the best for everyone around us to make it a better community.
And that's great. I think that attitude is going to carry you a long, long ways.
Thanks.